What's up, guys? My name is Tavarus, Sweet Pea Weems, coming at you live from BlackWeemsStreet Multimedia Studios. I'm in Los Angeles, California, from Atlanta, Georgia, out here pursuing my dream as an actor, musician, stuntman, martial artist, filmmaker, director, producer, content creator, editor, you name it, I do it all. I just wanted to review this album because Chris Brown is one of my favorite artists ever. I've been rocking with Chris Brown ever since the Run It days, you know. I got friends and you got friends. They hop out and you hop in. All that, you know, I love it. Y'all crazy. I love that stuff, man. Back then, when I found Chris, I was like, this guy's the next Michael Jackson, man, if not close to Michael Jackson. I know a lot of people say that, and, you know, a lot of people don't want to compare him to Mike, but, you know, in our time and this time that we're living in our generation, he is the Michael Jackson of our time. So, and I say that, you know, with much respect to Mike, because Mike will be the greatest entertainer ever, period. You know, nobody will ever replace Mike. But I'm just saying, for our kids growing up in this time, he's the Michael Jackson to them. So he's the Michael Jackson of our generation, this generation. All right, guys, let's go through this Chris Brown album, Brown, and we're gonna see if this album stands the test of time as far as R&B is concerned. There is a lot of features on there. We'll mention the features, list the title, but we won't play the audio. I might play a couple of seconds of it, but if I get a copyright strike, I'm gonna take the music out and just let you guys know what I think. Let me know in the comments if you already heard the album, what you thought. And we're going to run through these 23 songs real quick, give you my take on it, and then at the end, I'll give you my favorite songs off the album to see if it compares to some of the other songs that he had in the past, and if it holds up to the Chris Brown standard. Chris Brown has changed over the years, you know. He was a little more pop back then, a little polished. Now he's a little more harder, a little more edgier. Got a little street edge to the music, production, vocals, got a little drill in there as well as R&B and hip hop all mixed together. So we're gonna hear this album and we're gonna see if Chris Brown really came with it this time. So let's get into it. The first track off the album is Body Goals featuring Tank. Let's check it out. I love the track, very dark, very mysterious, very sexy. Got a little drill mixed with a little southern hip hop bounce to it. You can tell he used some of the same producers. Love Tank's voice. He got the husky, you know, sound to his voice. You know what it is. And I love the high pitched falsetto when he comes in. Everybody knows. I love that juxtaposition of the falsetto with the huskiness. And Chris Brown, you know, he comes in and does his thing. So I give this a thumb up. Body Goals featuring Tank. All right, track number 2, Say Nothing. Kind of throwback track, very slowed down. Almost kind of got a Houston feel to the production. Kind of that slowed down, trill kind of feel to it. A little bit of Usher in it, you know, with the way he touch back and I touch underneath. You know, you got that flow to it, that cut up, kind of stagnant, kind of staccato-ish tone to his vocals. That's how Usher did a lot of his songs back in the day. So Say Nothing is pretty tight. It's pretty cool. You know, kind of real relaxed, kind of old school mixed with the new school sound together. You know, with the Usher feel to it. That's just my take on it. Say Nothing. All right, track number 3 is Red Rum featuring Young Boy Never Broke Again. So let's check this out. All right, Red Rum, tight track. Love the production. Love the darkness to the track. Very East Coast with the drum pattern. I love that. It's almost a kind of like an East Coast mixed with a West Coast kind of feel together. It's like you can throw a lot of East Coast rappers on the track. Very hip hop in the track. I love it, man. I love the sound and the feel of it. You know, a little dark. I wouldn't say sexy, but just kind of got swag to the track. You know, kind of East Coast with a little swag, with that R&B feel to it. Loved it, man. Love the feature, Young Boy. Never Broke Again. Pretty tight track on my list. Rare Rum, tight. All right, let's go to track number 4, Won't Leave Me. Let's check this out. Won't Leave Me. Very emotional, very drawn out, very spatial or spacious in the track, in the vocals, in the way he's singing, in the emotions. Won't Let Me Leave. Very emotional track. I love the sound of it. Feel kind of sad, melancholy track. Um, Different as far as the production and the way they um, program the drums. Uh, Very staccato in the drums. I love the feel of it. Real nice, man. Real slow. If you're in that mood, you want to clean up and you're just thinking about things, you're thinking about life, you're thinking about a girlfriend or guy that you in a relationship with, you just left or they left you or whatever. This is a track you have to listen to. It kind of get you in that mood, that thinking mood. And I got to sit back and relax and just go through my mind with all this drama that's going on. So I like the track. I wouldn't say I love it, but I really like it. So Won't Let Me Leave. All right, track number 5 is Perfect Timing featuring Friday. So let's check this out. Perfect Timing, track number 5, a very hot track. I love the sound of it. Kind of old school a little bit. One of those tracks that you at the house with your girl chilling, and you just putting on something that you guys can just uh, talk to each other while the track is playing in the background, chilling, relaxing. I really love this track. Perfect Timing, really nice and slow and mellow. It'll mellow you out, you and your partner. All right, let's get into track number 6. It's called Your Time. This is track number 6 off the Chris Brown's album. Let's check this out. Your Time, pretty nice track, pretty upbeat, happy. One of those tracks that if you're in the mood to dance and move around while you're at home, cooking and cleaning, this is the perfect track. Feel good, happy, feel like one of those tracks that when you're in a good mood and you're getting ready to go out, on a date or go out on the town, or even go out just to a nice restaurant. You play this track while you're ironing your clothes and looking in the mirror, combing your hair and getting ready to go out. So nice track, nice track. Um, I wouldn't say it's like the best track I've heard so far, but it's a nice upbeat track on the album that makes you feel good. I think it's a filler, but it still makes you feel good when you listen to it. So, all right, number 7 is Slow Jams featuring Lucky Days. So let's check this out. Slow Jam featuring Lucky Days, track number 7. Slow Jams, pretty nice slow track. I love the sound of it. I love the slow pace of it. A very sexual and sensual. One of those tracks, if you with your girl, you in the bedroom, that's the track to play. Let's just keep it real. He did his thing when he made this track, and he knew exactly what he was doing when he made this track. So that's Chris Brown. You guys already know. So a very sexual track, sensual, but classy at the same time. It didn't get too raunchy or nothing like that. So I really like the track. Slow Jams featuring Lucky Days. All right, guys, let's go to track number 8. It's called For the Moment. For the Moment. Let's get into it. For the Moment track was pretty dope. I like the feel of it. I like the sound of the production. I love the bass lines in the production. Seemed like he got the same producers from his past, because I can hear that sound. I know that Chris Brown sound, which is cool. I'm not saying there's something wrong with it, but very hot track. It's something that you'll play while you're riding at nighttime. You're going somewhere on a long drive to another city in your state or town, and you want to listen to some good music, you'll put this track on, because it feels good, kind of slow. It's medium. It's not really slow, but kind of got that hip hop feel to it, as well as being a slower song tempo wise. But it's one of those songs that you'll play when you're thinking about somebody and you're feeling good and you just driving at nighttime going somewhere. So I really like the track. I like it a lot. So nice. For the Moment. This is track number 9. It's called Theme Song. So let's check this out. Let's get into it. Theme Song. Theme Song seemed like one of those up-tempo songs he made just for the club. You can hear that that sound and the way they did the beats, kind of Miami-ish style to the production. I like that though, kind of Luke Skywalker-ish, you know, Two Live Crew-ish as far as the beats are concerned. The beat is concerned and the production. I like it though, very up tempo. I can see girls popping it in the club, doing their thing. Everybody's skating rings, you know, all that type of stuff. The kind of Southern hip hop back in the day that they used to do. So theme song, pretty up tempo, pretty dope track. So I like it. All right, track number 10 is F and Party. I'm not gonna tell you what the word means. You already know. Featuring Vibes Cartel, and let's check this track out. F and Party featuring Vibes Cartel. It was a vibe. I like the track. The Caribbean kind of Afro beats meets the Caribbean style sound that Chris Brown is doing these days. I like it. I like the production style, the way they produce the beats. Of course, the rhythm, that Jamaican mixed with a little Caribbean, mixed with a little Afro beats, R&B and hip hop all mixed. I love that sound. This is Chris Brown's new sound these days that he's doing. So, and I'm loving it. I love the way he does those little Caribbean dance moves and all that stuff like that. So, F and Party featuring Vibes Cartel was a vibe. All right. Track number 11 is Call Your Name featuring Sexy Red and Glorilla. It should be interesting. Sexy Red and Glorilla. Call Your Name, Chris Brown. Let's get into it. Call Your Name featuring Glorilla and Sexy Red. Very interesting track, man. Very interesting. I mean, the mix of the Memphis sound mixed with R&B, mixed with a little pop, slowed down, a little bit of that Texas, you know, kind of slowed down, you know, drill, country, ghetto feel mixed with the pop. But still has a very clean style vocally. I can see myself riding down the beach, you know, with the top off, just listening to this track and just vibing out. It's interesting to have Sexy Red and Glorilla on the track. It just make it a totally different style of a song. Him singing so sweet and so soft and so serious, and then you have Glorilla and Sexy Red doing a, you know, Memphis and down south thing on it. You know, it's very interesting. A little bit of trap mixed with R&B and pop. So hey, there you go. Call Your Name. Very interesting track. You should check it out. Makes the album stand out. All right, let's get into number 12. This is Colors, Chris Brown. Colors was a pretty good track. Sounds like some African rhythm in the production. Like the style. Kind of big vocals, big pop sound. Seemed like he was going for a commercial sound with this one. So Colors, pretty cool track. All right, let's get into Honey Pack, number 13. This is Honey Pack. So this is a very traditional track from Chris Brown, something that you would expect of him. So Honey Pack is kind of hood, kind of R&B. So it's a mix of the two. So, you know, that's Honey Pack. All right, let's get into track number 14. It's Personal. It's Personal was very personal. I can tell just by the way he wrote the song, the lyrics, the way he sang it. Very personal message that he's sending out to people, talking about his personal life and personal issues and how he want to keep his name and image and his personal life, you know, out of the media and how they're always attacking him. So this track was personal from Chris Brown, and I can feel it. With the acoustic guitar going, with the drum beat, you can tell it was like raw and gritty and straight to the point. So it's personal, was pretty tight, man. Very, very interesting message if you want to hear it. Check that out. It's Personal. Chris Brown talking about real stuff, you know, real life. So I like it. All right, let's get into number 15, Skin to Skin. This is 15, Skin to Skin. Skin to Skin was tight, man. It's one of those tracks you just got to play when you with your girl. You know, I'm just being straight up. Track that you can play when you're at home alone and you guys are deep in love and you just want to, you know, get into each other and make love and have a good time together. It's just straight to the point, you know, Skin to Skin. It's sexy. It's sensual, very seductive, and everything that you can imagine. So this is the perfect track to play for the fellas when you're home with your girl. So put that on the list, homie. All right. Track number 16, Something in the Water. Let's get into it. Now, Something in the Water is one of my favorite tracks because it's kind of got that underdogs feel to the production, very big production sounds, the voices echoing, very pop production. It's one of those R&B pop songs that, you know, he would sing with somebody in a duet, you know. So I love it. I love that sound. You know, it's kind of a throwback to the uh, I wouldn't say early 2000s, but later 2000 when Jordan Sparks, you know, was singing with Chris Brown. Those times, that's the kind of sound that I hear in this track. So I like the track, Something in the Water. All right, let's get into track number 17. It's not you, it's me. Let's get it. Oh my God, this has got to be one of my favorite tracks on the album, man. This is sick. I mean, it kind of reminds you of that kind of New Flame, a little Usher feel to the production. You know, that stuff that makes you want to kind of pop and dance. And you know, it's a slow song, so don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a up tempo or Marion type of track, but one of those New Flame Usher. He can come in and you know do his thing. He'll kind of sing it through. I thought that you would my fault. You know that man. I love that type of production. Then he'll go into baby, you're the best, baby, you're the best, and then he goes into the falsetto that leads to the chorus, and it changes because you're not expecting that type of chorus to come, and it just sticks with you. I mean, this song really sticks with you, man. It's one of my favorite songs off the album. It's not you, it's me. I'm putting this on my list. All right, let's get into track number 18, Leave Me Alone. Let's check this out. Love it, man. Love it. Leave Me Alone was tight, man. It's kind of like that personal song, you know. He's talking about leave me alone and get out of my life and stop bothering me. Let me live my life and do me, you know. I'm only human, so stop, you know, pressuring me to be somebody I'm not. I'm going to be me regardless. So I love this. Musically, man, incredible. I mean, just the production, the way they started the track, the intro, the piano, you know, the real live drum sound, just real music overall. You know, I love the way they brought the production together, live musician, real music, talking about real things. So Leave Me Alone, very tight track, man, very tight. I give him props for that one. All right, guys, let's get into track number 19 called Hate Me. Hate Me, very interesting track as far as the lyrics are concerned. It's called Hate Me. So very dark. I wouldn't say depressing, but just the energy in his voice is very sad and not depressing, but almost depressing. You know, so this track was very slow down. Um, it dragged out, you know, as far as the production is concerned. And in that track kind of brings that mood with it, and it brings your mood with it. Because he's not really talking about his personal life. I think he's talking about a relationship. You can hate me and all that stuff. So it's a track that you would listen to when you're feeling a certain way about a certain person. So Hate Me was very, very, very sad and almost depressing song. So I wouldn't say it's not my I wouldn't say it's not my favorite song, but it is a very interesting song if you're in a certain mood. So I would play that song if I was in a kind of like a moody, emotional, you know, I just broke up with somebody kind of song. So that's Hate Me. All right, let's get into track number 20, Cry For Me. Man, this this is what I'm talking about, bruh. Dude, fire, fire, fire. Cry For Me is fire. This the type of stuff I like. I like this Chris Brown. It's got that, I'm not saying it compares to Fine China, but it has that upbeat feel, kind of like a Fine China. Very bubbly, very danceable. Makes you want to get up and bust some dance moves and learn Chris Brown's choreography and just do your thing, make some TikTok videos, um, vibe out when you're driving and you just want to bump and chill and roll down the windows and let everybody hear what you're playing. It's one of those songs, man. Sunny day driving down Sunset in LA, in Atlanta, Georgia, in Decatur, Georgia, riding down Candler Road, you know what I'm saying, at Wesley Chapel, you know, Panola Road, Lithonia, doing your thing. So Cry For Me is one of those summer joints, man. You driving by the swimming pool, you just want to jump in the swimming pool, barbecue, all that. Cry For Me, fire. This is on my list for sure. All right, let's get into track number 21, In My Heat. Track 21, In My Heat. Nice, man. This is fire. I like this track. It's one of the best slow down tracks that I've heard on the album. It's very traditional Chris Brown, it's that sound, that Chris Brown sound, everybody touching, I did that, you said, it's that he gets into that Chris Brown bag, and that's what I like about Chris, man. He got his own style and his own swag when it comes to his vocals on the production of that nature, man. I think he works with a lot of the same producers because you can feel it. He sticks with that Chris Brown. That's why this album is called Brown. It is Chris Brown. So love it, man. One of my favorites one of my favorite slow songs off the album. All right, let's go to number 22. We're almost there. This is Present. Present. The track is called Present. Very sweet track, kind of sad, melancholy, mixed with an emotional plea type of lyrics. I love the way he is spitting his emotion. He is coming from the heart with this one. Kind of long gone type, when I'm gone type of songs, something that you'll listen to when you're missing somebody and you're thinking about that person and bringing back memories and all that stuff like that. It's kind of sad, man, but it's kind of sweet the way he's singing it, like, hey, when I'm gone, you're going to miss me and all this stuff, but hey, I'm good. Don't worry about me. I did my thing and I'm doing my thing. So, hey, peace out. I did me, and that's all that matters. So, like the feel of it, man. One of those tracks that you got to be in the mood to listen to because it'll definitely kind of get you down a little bit if you're not careful, if you're in the wrong mood. So, Present, I like that one. Nice, big sound, just with the piano, no beats, no production, no nothing. As far as production, I mean, no, drum rolls and hard kicks and snares. It's just the piano, him, couple of synth sound, strings, and all that, and that's about it. So, all right, guys. Last but not least, track number 23. What's Love? Let's see what the last track do, and we're gonna close this thing out. Holla at your boy. What's Love? Chris Brown album, last track on the album. Let's get into it. What's Love, the last track on Chris Brown's album, was nice. I could tell that they put that song last for a reason. It's kind of melancholy, kind of sad because he doesn't know what love really is. He's questioning what's love. So that's the way he's singing it, with that type of emotion, kind of moody, kind of laid back, a man that's very thoughtful in his thoughts, thinking about what's going on in his relationship. Why isn't he successful in finding love? So a lot of people feel like that, whether it's men or women. So I like the track for the fact that it feels real, feels like something that you go through on a regular basis in life. Just as a human being, trying to find real love. So I realized why they put that track last, because it's one of those tracks you just end the album off on. So hey, they didn't end the album off on a high note, which was interesting. So really shows you the mentality that Chris Brown had when he was making that song, and the reason why they put it last. So hey, that's it. That's all 23 songs from Chris Brown album. And I really like the album overall. I'll say from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, I would give it I would say honestly an 8.5. He didn't have enough commercial hits on the album. I think there's about 2 or 3 that can really hit the radio on a commercial pop level. You know, I'm a pop lover. You know, pop, R&B, and hip hop is my thing, coming from the Michael Jackson background. And so it's really not an album for the radio. You know, of course, he has the song "Obvious" out, you know, which is his biggest hit to me. But on this album, seems like there's really no commercialized music. It's all music that's made for the people, you know, from the neighborhood. So this is an album for all R&B lovers, not so much people that's into pop, but the people that like hip hop and R&B, they'll love this album. That's why I gave it an 8.5. He didn't go hardcore on trying to find the best, biggest pop R&B hits, you know, on the album, which is cool. You know, do your thing, you know. But I just think that he need that 1 or 2 or 3 big smash hits on the album that would take the album to a next level, another level. So, but still love it, man. Chris Brown, one of my favorite artists ever. I'll always buy all his music, always be a fan of Chris. Been a Chris Brown fan since the beginning, and still a Chris Brown fan. You know, he's to me one of the only artists these days that's making real music, doing real production, singing, real vocals. You know, not auto-tuning everything. He might play with it a little bit on some songs, but he's really not going hard on auto-tune. So he's a real singer, real dancer, real artist, studio head. I can tell he stays in the studio. All these songs he's making, man, it takes a lot of time and effort to do all this stuff. So he must be making a lot of this stuff on the road as well. So, hey, that's it. Let me make sure I got through all the songs. Out of 23 songs, I'm going to give you guys my top songs that I like from the album. Out of 23 songs, these are my favorite songs for the album that I will be keeping for myself personally. I can play over and over again. So, Body Goals featuring Tank, Cry For Me, For The Moment, In My Head, It's Not You, It's Me, Perfect Timing, Red Rum, Say Nothing, Something in the Water, and Won't Let Me Leave. Those are my favorite songs off Chris Brown's Brown album. Fire. I can play these songs forever. And that's what I love about Chris Brown. He makes songs that stands the test of time. You know, you can play these songs in 2050 and still be good. So shout out to Chris Brown. Thanks for the inspiration. Michael Jackson, Chris Brown, 2 of my favorite artists of all time. So I really appreciate you guys coming and checking out this review with me. My name is Tavarus Sweet P Weems, also known as the artist Sweet P the Entertainer. Check out my website, sweetptheentertainer.com. My YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. Make sure you guys check in with me. I got a lot of stuff coming, a lot of Michael Jackson stuff coming, documentaries on Mike, videos, just interviews I've done, videos I've been on, music videos, a lot of film stuff, a lot of acting stuff, a lot of stunts and martial arts stuff coming. So please check in with me. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, this channel, BlackWeemsStreet Multimedia. You can check out my website, has all my social media accounts listed on that site. Make sure you guys lock in with me, man. I got some things coming you ain't gonna believe. Also follow me on Kick, Sweet P the Entertainer on Kick. I appreciate you guys once again. My name is Tavarus Sweet P Weems. Stay gold and have a good one.